Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Good to know you are there with us this week starting edition of the program Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. How was your weekend? Plenty. I guess it was worth it. By the way, this is the first official working day of the week, and we are here. We know you are there. Femi is my name. A new edition of this program, and it's going to be splendid this morning. You don't want to move a morsel. By the way, Evelyn is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Femi.
The
How
pinky
are you
lady.
doing?
Good morning. How do you do?
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm alive. We thank God for life.
Very well.
Talk about the first and the last. Today is the first working day of the week, and the
Yeah.
last day of the month of September. It's been a great month, personally for me, and also an eventful month. But we thank God that it's the end of September, and we're moving on to October. Another beautiful month. We pray it is. My name is Evelyn Ohiole, and talking about October, tomorrow is the 64th independence anniversary of our dear and great nation, Nigeria. Femi, how do you feel?
Well, I think there is a part of us that want to, count the days. 64th. That's an elderly. If you were to be a human being, that's an elder right there.
Mm.
Somebody tending towards the 70th floor. So at
Mhm.
64, most likely, if calculations are gotten right and nature smiles on you, that person should be a grandfather at that point. So by all means, by all, providence, by experience, a 64-year-old man should be, or woman should be able to tell you something and you should listen, should be able to mediate, should be able to
Mm.
intervene,
Mm.
to be a go-to person.
Mm.
Eventually, if something is not right in a place, but if actually we are to put that in context with what Nigeria is right now, maybe that is not the kind of appellation
Mm.
or characteristics you might think a 64-year-old Nigeria has. But then we are here, we have 25 broken cycle of democracy, even when many persons believe we can do more. It's not just by counting the years, it is by what the years has brought for us as a people. But then big shout out to all the founding fathers of the nation, people who fought for that independence, before 1960 October 1. But then we have time for that tomorrow. So, being that as it may, we're still together. Maybe that counts for something.
Of course, it does account for something, and I believe that should be the silver lining that we all hold on to. That irrespective of what it is we are going through as a nation, we are somewhere. We may not be where we want to be, but of
Obviously.
course, we are not where we used to be. We have moved, no matter how small. And talking about celebrations, the presidency released a statement yesterday
Right.
saying that it's going to be a low-key celebration, nothing nothing extravagant, nothing big, just
Same thing last
low-key.
year.
And I think it's okay if you can call President Tinubu low-key. Low-key now, the god in this Marvel movie.
Yeah.
You can call him low-key because since he came to office, everything has been done low-key. We had the last year's Independence Day celebration done low-key.
Low-key, yeah.
This time around again, we are having the Independence Day done low-key. The Democracy Day too, when he came in, was done low-key.
Low-key.
And the things he has been doing,
In terms of celebrations.
he bought his private jet low-key, he bought his Cadillac
I knew you were
low-key,
going there.
the yacht was bought low-key. Things were just done underground. So it's okay to say President
But there is a
Tinubu.
low key, there is another low key.
Yeah.
The purchase of the Maybach, in as much you are talking about, since we are talking about the purchase of the Maybach, that beast right now, it might have been done low key, but the car is not low key.
Of course not.
A private jet that was done low key with arguments, with, oh, you are getting it, oh, we are not buying it, oh, you have sent, the, what's it called? The budget to the National Assembly for approval. The National Assembly said, no, we have not received anything. But albeit, if actually he sends it, we will have to approve because we can't allow our president to fall off the sky, of course, and then we can't allow him to be going around a moleware of an aircraft.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, somebody say, I've seen it at the hangars. They just say, no, it has not been done. By the way, Baba used it, to go to France on a low key.
Exactly.
But the aircraft is not low key. The purchase might have been done low key, but then, to put it in the right context, the life of Nigerians, majority of Nigerians, economically speaking, have been low key.
Exactly.
That's the real low key. Security wise, it has been low key. That is it. The value of money in people's pockets, the wealth is low key. In fact, in some cases, it's no key. There is low key. There is no key at all. People just wake up and then they are just hopeful on what the nature will bring, not in the belief of their country.
Exactly.
Somebody might have said, okay, it doesn't start with President Tinubu. Yeah, that's right. But then the leader, per time that is on seat, is the one that people will look onto for leadership. So low-key purchase, but the item has not been low-key. The only thing low-key is the quality of life of Nigeria.
Exactly. And we hope that we can move from low-key to a high-key. Going forward, we know that some people may applaud the president for doing all these things low-key. Remember that his birthday celebration also was done low-key. So you can call President Tinubu the king of low-key.
But we are getting some Ankara from somewhere.
But it's still done
virtue
low-key.
Of by the lesson the first lady learned when she traveled. But Ankara is there for tomorrow's celebration. Is that low-key?
It's still low-key.
Right.
It's still low-key. I mean, that's the word, the term from the federal government. The celebration will be done low-key this year. But of course, we are hopeful. Yes, we're people of hope. And we are hopeful that this country called Nigeria will move from strength to strength, from glory to glory, and we can come back to our days of old glory. We hope we can do that.
And turn old glory to new glory.
All right, so we'll take this breather. When we return, the papers are in. Let's see what they have for us. All right, welcome back. It's the newspaper review segment, and I'll be starting with the Punch newspaper this morning. Boldly written on the Punch newspaper for today is about the October 1 protest. Talking about the independence anniversary, but a protest looming tomorrow. Policeman Flashpoints APC opposition clash with a rider. State police commands deploy teams. Organizers insist on rally as PDP LP berate APC. So there is a protest looming, but of course some people feel it's unnecessary, while some others think it's something that should be done. I mean, we have the fundamental human rights to do that. So we just have to do what we've got to do. This is a mirror of what the economy is like, and we have to let the federal government know, the entirety of government know, that the people are not smiling. Away from that, Nigeria at 64, Obasanjo Akpabio, SGF service chiefs grace a Thanksgiving service. Remember, we had a Jumat service on Friday and a Thanksgiving service yesterday, but of course the main celebration will be done tomorrow, and you can see the creme de la creme of the nation there. Obasanjo, former president of the nation, Akpabio, the Senate president, SGF service chiefs, all there at the Thanksgiving service. FG raises teams to avert ASU strike. And police begin probe as lion kills keeper in Obasanjo library. It's a sad one. I mean, that Bauchi born lion handler, Babaji, was killed by the lion. Remember what happened? Is it months back? Yeah, I think it was months back here in Osun State. The lion that actually killed its handler. Yeah, and we're having a repeat of that in Abeokuta. It's a sad one. According to reports, the handler forgot to fasten the locks when he wanted to go feed the lion, and the lion got away. Held him, and the lion had to be shot for it to lose its grip on the handler. But before that could be done,
Hospital.
yes, he already passed away. Away from that, Constitution Amendment, Regional Government tops 56 memoranda to National Assembly. Let's see how that goes. Top corner, the Punch newspaper, Naira for code deal begins Tuesday. This is according to Tinubu panel. Naira for crude deal begins Tuesday. This is credited to Tinubu panel.
October 1, yeah.
And 17 governors raise minimum wage panels. I wonder why this is just happening. They had all of the time to start to do this. I mean, the federal government workers receiving their own salaries according to the new minimum wage, but the state workers would have to wait till when their governors are done with their own panels and start to implement it. And I believe it's not a good one. We all knew when this particular new minimum wage was agreed to by all the stakeholders, and I think that was supposed to be the time when the governors would actually raise this panels for implementation. Cameroon Dam NEMA crew monitors Niger Benue rivers. And lastly, from the Punch, I have surpassed detractors' 8-year achievements, says Fubara. And who is a detractor 8-year achievement, or who is the detractor who worked for 8 years? Your guess is as good as mine, but I wouldn't mention names here. That will be all from the Punch.
Interesting. The weekend was one for shades, for political bullets. It flew around, from either to thither. As we are, let's maintain the balance.
Yeah.
And we are just there. All right, we move to The Guardian for today. The Guardian newspaper is next. Only 7 of 20 subsidiaries viable as NNPCL battles 22 trillion naira debt. Only 7 of 20 subsidiaries viable as NNPCL battles 22 trillion naira debt. And of course, you see some detail there. NNPCL's financial burden and unprofitable businesses. Financial burden with unprofitable the businesses. You have key subsidiaries with major debts. Port Harcourt Refinery owing 1.97 trillion naira, and Kaduna Refinery 1.36 trillion naira. NNPC Gas Infrastructure 1.86 trillion naira. Warri Refinery 1.17 trillion naira. One more I want to ask and say, Port Harcourt Refinery, Kaduna, and Warri refineries that have not really done anything substantial
and
in
still
years,
owing.
they are incurring debt. How is that happening? You're not producing workers there. If actually we can turn them, some staffers of those refineries, maybe in their hundreds or thousands, are still, earning their salary and wages there. Yet, an unproductive subsidiary, 3 of them, Warri, Port Harcourt, and Kaduna refineries, are owing to the tune of almost 4 trillion naira. Just those 3 already. What exactly do they do? In what form, were these debts owed?
Low-key. They were owed low-key.
Low-key debts.
Exactly.
They were owed low-key, but the debts are not low-key. Let's put it there.
Yeah.
4 trillion naira is not low-key by any standard. Even if you convert it to pound sterling, these are not low-key.
They're not.
Billions of dollars there for unproductive ventures running into years. And the painful thing there, nothing will still happen. It is as good. You can know, you can guess, at least if antecedent is anything to go by. Now, debt growth 2022 to 2023, an increase from 18.4 trillion naira in 2022 to then in 2023 to 22 trillion naira. 18.4 trillion naira in 2022, an increase to 22 trillion naira in 2023. And here, outstanding crude backed loans. Crude backed loans, that means, the loans we got in exchange for crude, even in advance. That's meaning, give us this money. The moment we are, getting the crude, we'll be paying with it. Project Gazelle, $3 billion. Project Broke, okay, the broke is that of a shoe. Project Broke, $81.7 million. Then there's $2 billion expected to be borrowed. Expected borrowing, $2 billion. Still, that would be the facility will be the crude. The collateral facility will be the crude now, or the payment plan rather. Debt to PMS traders, $6.8 billion. That's the one to marketers, by the way. That the NNPCL came out to say, yes, you catch us. You have caught us now. And yes, we are insolvent. We are borrowing. And then 53.33 billion naira for oil exploration. That's in Maduguri and Nasarawa. You knew that the frenzy around discovery of oil in Maduguri and Nasarawa State, it gulfed 53.33 billion naira. To say that was what it took to discover. And now that has been explained, see now. We don't know the state of that. In what many geologists and industry players said, that particular venture of using the NNPCL money to do this exploration, there are better ways to do it. Why not get a private company who is ready to invest? And whenever they do the discovery, then you then do a plan. Maybe for 20 years, you guys will be the one getting this oil, and then they can use their money for the exploration. But Nigeria went ahead and used NNPCL money for the exploration. Now that we are told it has been discovered, it was celebrated then. Till now, this is 2024, September 30. We are waiting for the real exploration now. And the decommissioning cost, 466.7 billion naira for 2003 oil wells over the next 40 years. You need more detail. Pick up the copy of this paper. Moving on, Obaseki Shaibu Bika over alleged plot to invade government house. Okay, we hope these, forth and back will not degenerate to something that will look like, I don't want to mention a particular union that whenever they are having their election or whatever, or takeoff of power is always bloody and messy. We hope this fight, really, I'm not from Edo State, but anybody should know, I should not get to the level of, because of one thing or the other, the state government house will be invaded. For what? That would be a shame. We hope that it won't get to that point, because we've seen the House of Assembly, desecrated, the roof removed, the front of the place, all of a sudden, government in power, you just realize they want to do a renovation. All of a sudden, we've seen some state House of Assembly bombed as well, just because of power tussle. It's not the way to go. PDP crisis deepens as North Central Caucus insists on replacing Damagum. And the federal government okays 350 billion to tackle flooding. Sarah, Action Aid demand INEC prosecution of bribery offenses against governors and deputies. And anxiety as Tinubu's government braces for second mass protest in 2 months. We'll look into that in the course of the program. Femi disapproves federal government's proposed Nile check. And lastly, 96% of SMEs struggling under inflation control policies and economist wham, rather. See the picture of Mr. Cardoso there, the central bank governor. 96%. Some would say maybe that percentage is modest, because 96%, if not 99%, of SMEs are struggling at this time. That will be all from the Guardian.
Let's move to Vanguard newspaper this morning. Still on Vanguard newspaper, we have the October 1 protest taking center stage. Police deploy in state as organizers insist on protest. With some riders here, government failed to address protesters' demands, says Deji Adeyaju, and hopes more detained protesters will be released today. Refrain from any acts of violence, says federal government. Give FG more time to fix economy, says Kogi, please. I wonder, Okay, let me just keep mum. Restriction of protests to 2 designated venues still stand. Lagos State government speaking there, and CP Lagos meets organizers. Assures on security and professionalism. Jigawa police deploy men today. Do not join any protest. Now tells varsity students. All right, a lot of people, different stakeholders speaking on the protests coming up tomorrow, and the government is appealing to the people to just, stay away from protest and give them more time to fix the economy. And you can also see, the Kogi Police Command also backing the government up, asking protesters to give the federal government more time to fix the economy. But, people would say, we gave a Buhari 8 years. What was he able to fix?
Yeah.
Some people say nothing. He fixed nothing because when the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into office, they said nothing was working. So it's safe to say that the administration of Buhari appealed to the people to give them more time just to do nothing. And, they say, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, then shame on me. People do not want to be taken for a second time. And I'm sure that's why people are asking for dividends of democracy and asking for a better economy. But away from that, talking about still the 64th independence anniversary, that you can see the interdominational service there. And of course, you can see in the picture there former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And talking about Olusegun Obasanjo, remember that there's a video, trending online of the former president, going low. And a lot of people were applauding the former president's knee, saying this man is still as strong and as fit as a fiddle. You said?
You said they were applauding his knee.
Yeah, his knees, because his knees are
for being healthy.
For being healthy, he was
When
actually
the man is just one.
He
one
took up a
breed.
challenge with the newlyweds, and they were dancing to this song where they have to go low, low. And he was as low as where the young newlyweds were.
Yeah.
And people were like, man,
OBJ is a special breed,
this man is as fit as
There
a
was an
fiddle.
event he was at an event, the 70th celebration of birthday of Bishop Oyedepo on Friday.
yeah.
And you need to, when he was called, even when it was not his time, but he's Obasanjo now, you could see the way he ran, the altar, to climb that altar. And many persons were wondering, they were just applauding. I think it's one special breed.
Yes, it is. And of course, you can see the picture of the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Judge Akuma, and his wife, Regina, and Deputy Speaker, House of Representative Benjamin Kalu, during that interdominational Thanksgiving service for an anniversary. Labour accuses IOCs, mining agents, of exploiting port workers. Cement demand surge amidst price hikes, declining purchasing power. And you have quite a number of riders there. You can go on to Vanguard to read more for yourself. And up to INEC chair, obey judgment on electoral offences, or what? You can get onto page 10 to read more of the story. And Nigeria could end insecurity in 1 year if what? This is coming from Senator Ndume. And top corner, FG hands over 64 CNG buses to labor unions and NANS. Will resist unitarism in Nigerian politics, says Femi. And this is not the first time Femi is on that particular stance, saying this president administration is working gradually towards unitarism. They may have their reasons, but then there are opposition to that particular statement or view. Over 40% of Nigerians now enjoy 20 hours of electricity. The power minister is powerfully making the statement on the Vanguard newspaper. Over 40% of Nigerians now enjoy 20 hours of electricity, and he is proudly and powerfully putting out this particular statement, saying that, if we are to put a number to it, that would be 80. If we're working with 200 million Nigerians, that will be 80 million Nigerians having
more than
20 hours of electricity, and
per day,
daily. There might be people that are asking, Mr. Minister, where did you get your statistics from? Can you give us the states,
Yeah.
the local governments that enjoy this amount of electricity supply, so we can know that really, truly, 40% of Nigerians, that's 80 million Nigerians, have access to not less than 20 hours of electricity supply daily. That would be the band A customers. But for the abandoned category, you might not even have an hour of power supply. And Mr. and Mrs., just for the laughs, what do you mean the food is not enough to feed an infant? The era of overfeeding is gone. Manage the one on your plate. This is coming from Mrs. after giving Mr. serving Mr. his food, and Mr. has this to say in return. This little thing, and to say, I told somebody a while ago that I have a lot on my plate. And, talking about the lot on the plate, Nigerians at this time have a lot on their plate.
In
only
front
that
of
this
them, actually.
a
Because
lot
some of them don't have plate again.
is not translating to food on their table.
Yeah.
So when someone tells you I have a lot on my plate, it might not be a lot in his pocket or banks, but a lot when it comes to issues they have to deal with. And that is where we draw the curtains for the newspaper review segments this morning on Morning Spring.
Very well. We'll take this quick break. When we'll come back to speak to Asia's person one. It all started last week, and it started maybe as a social media post, but then it has boomerang into what, many persons are saying, this is what you should do, this is what you should have done. Oh, you shouldn't come this way. I know you're thinking, what am I talking about? Stay put. We'll be back.